Thank you to Mike Emanuel for that report. Back out live, a look at the Capitol building in Washington, D.C., as I do want to continue this conversation even further by bringing on to the program now entertainment attorney Camron Dowlatshahi. So, Cameron, good to see you. Thanks for joining us here at Live Now from Fox.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. So I just want to start really by getting your thoughts at maybe some of those surprising things that you saw from these findings, according to that investigation from the Ethics Committee.
Well, I thought it was pretty damning for Matt Gaetz, and obviously to the point where, he has to step aside. It's underage, sexual favors and things that are illegal under law and pretty well documented with enough testimony. So pretty shocking and frankly surprised that it took this long for the report to come out.
So what's interesting is that before this report was released, and we got a look at it today, Matt Gaetz actually tried to file a restraining order against having this be released. So that was one of the tactics he took before this was out in the open. But now it's out here, Cameron. So from a legal perspective, an attorney here, what can Matt Gaetz do now to help him in this whole situation?
Well, I think he has to go on the offensive with public relations. At this point, he is in the Trump administration's favor, so he can curate kind of that goodwill and go on the offensive that way. He can file motions for protective order in court to try to maybe seal some of the documents if there are potential court cases that come about. But for now, it's about a PR strategy for him.
We're just taking a look at some footage from Matt Gaetz there because, of course, he was the president-elect's pick for attorney general, withdrawing his name from consideration there after the House Ethics Committee was threatening to release this report. Now, in regards to this offensive that you're speaking of, that Matt Gaetz has to go into, and kind of this public relations, public affairs standpoint, how difficult is that to do given the findings of this report?
Yeah, a tall task for sure, but made easier with people in power on his side. Unfortunately, in these cases, I typically represent victims, and unfortunately, what happens in these cases is the victim gets attacked. So I wouldn't think that that's beneath Matt Gaetz in this situation to go after the credibility of the witnesses, the young women at play here. I fully expect him to do that to sort of vindicate his reputation. Obviously, there's the other flip side of this, which he just kind of lets this go. Maybe the attention dies down in about a year or so, then he's appointed to another position or, gets into the administration another way.
So Matt Gaetz, of course, has denied any wrongdoing, even with these findings. But a lot of it can be very damning, as you just mentioned. I mean, these are very serious allegations and really what the House Ethics Committee has come to a conclusion with. So by Matt Gaetz saying that he is denying all of this, I mean, what kind of perspective could he bring forth to continue to remove himself from that situation?
That's the name of the game in these situations: deny, 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 deny. Unfortunately, I don't think I've ever seen a harasser admit their conduct or an abuser admit their conduct. And I expect the same here for Matt Gaetz and for him to continue that.
Once again, here just some more footage of him. Just yesterday, we did see that he spoke at an event in Phoenix, Arizona, America Fest 2024, where, Cameron, you have mentioned that he does have some prominent names still supporting him, including President-elect Donald Trump. But in regards to this very serious situation, I mean, how much weight does that truly carry? Is it more of a perspective of, him kind of being removed from the whole thing, or just it's good to have that support from them? I mean, what does that really bring to the table?
Well, he was nominated for a high-level position with the administration presumably knowing about this risk. So I wouldn't be shocked if the administration gets him involved in another way at some point later in the future. So it goes beyond just regular support. I think you have a direct tie, a direct line to the president of the United States. For the rest of Matt Gaetz's career, that's going to be extremely valuable.
And then, Cameron, in terms of punishment, what kind of punishment could Matt Gaetz see given this whole situation that we have here?
Well, I could certainly see him not serving in Congress anymore. I could certainly see some civil cases brought about by some of the victims or their families. So there's blowback there for sure.
And I'm wondering, really, just one final question here. If you do keep up with any of these political investigations, do you, maybe off the top of your head, think of any other one that could be comparable to this news that we got today with Matt Gaetz?
Well, I mean, my childhood was kind of ridden with Bill Clinton and kind of everything going on with him and Monica Lewinsky. So that's off the top of my head something I can think about. Obviously, different levels of Clinton's didn't involve any criminality. This is criminal. Underage women and prostitution. So this level of misconduct, is rarely seen.
Right, Camron Dowlatshahi, entertainment attorney here. We appreciate your time at Live Now from Fox. Definitely a story that we're going to continue to cover here, but we appreciate your time. Take care.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Of course.